Hey, welcome to Cheaper TV. I'm Dino, your host. Glad to see you here. It looks like my good friends at BougeRV have sent me this 1200 watt rechargeable lithium battery. Some people also refer to them as solar powered generators. I'm going to do an unboxing, I'm going to discuss some of its attributes, and then in the tips segment I'm going to share with you some discount codes so that if you're interested in something like this, you'll save a little bit of money. So stick around. Okay, awesome. Glad that you're here. In this episode, I am going to do an unboxing of the 1200 watt lithium rechargeable battery that some people call solar generators. I'm going to talk about the attributes, but also later in the video, I'm going to be doing a couple special tests that I think that you're going to find interesting, and then I'm going to be doing follow-up videos using this battery with the 23 quart and the 37 quart BougeRV fridges so you can compare and do an analysis on how the two different fridges operate using this battery to help you in making decisions for yourself. And don't forget, in the tips segment part of this video, I'm going to discuss how you can save money with discount codes. Okay, let's start the unboxing. So far the packaging is pretty nice. It seems that there's the BougeRV box inside of a shipping box, which is kind of important when you're having something as valuable as this shipped. You don't want it damaged during the shipping process. Okay, so this box looks a little nicer. So you see the capacity of this 1200 watt lithium battery or solar generator is 1100 watt hours. And this is the number you use to compare the length and duration of the battery's operation when in use. So for example, you might find a 500 watt hour battery, 1100 watt hour battery, and there's even bigger ones like 2000 watt hour batteries. And the bigger they get, the more expensive they are. But that's the nice thing about the BougeRV batteries, is that they are a bit of a budget brand. So you'll pay less for a BougeRV battery than, say, a more well-known brand type of battery. Now it's 1200 watt output, so if the appliance you're trying to power uses, say, up to 1200 watts, this battery will be able to do it. So if you had maybe a 500 watt battery and you were using, say, a hairdryer or a coffee machine and it operates at 900 watts, then that kind of battery would be able to meet your needs. But a battery like this could in circumstances like that. So it's something to be aware of if maybe operating a coffee machine or a hairdryer while you're overlanding or camping or something that is of interest to you. It has fast solar charging and it has a smart LED display. So let's get it out of the box. Okay, so you get a user manual. Now here's the AC power block. So when you're charging up this battery from inside the house, or if you have shore power when you're camping, you could use this. And this is some extra cords. Okay, this is excellent because you have this kind of solar panel connector, as well as this kind is the Anderson. I forget what this kind is called. I'll have it on the screen. So this is great when you want to connect solar panels to the battery. And then this belongs to that. And then this is a 12 volt plug. If you wanted to be charging up the battery while you're driving from your car, you would plug this into your 12 volt cigarette lighter and then this into the battery, and it'll charge it up as you're driving. So there's lots of styrofoam to protect it during transit. And here's the battery. It looks pretty nice. There's a little protective cover on the screen here we could take off so that it's free of scratches, nice and new. And there's the power button right here. And it's already pre-charged at up to 71%. Now the thing about a battery like this is they tell you it's good for 1500 cycles, which means it could go down to zero and you could charge it back up 1,500 times. Now that's a long time, I guess, depending on how often you're using it when you're camping and that sort of thing, but 1,500, that's going to be a lot of use. However, I've seen reviews where people test the capacity, and even though it's rated as 1,100 watt hours, it's actually maybe a few percent less, but that's good for 1,500 cycles. But after the 1,500 cycles, that guarantees you that operating capacity you had when you initially got it. After 1,500 cycles, you'll still have about 80% of the capacity of the battery that's operating. It's still going to last you a long time, just at a lesser capacity. So it's a pretty good deal. You'll get this battery and it'll last you a long time. Now, when we look here, there's a button here that you can press and it'll activate your AC plugs, which will operate on an inverter that's already built into this. This type of battery already has an MPPT charge controller for when you want to plug a solar panel into a lithium battery. If you just go and buy a plain lithium battery, you're still going to need a charge controller. Well, this isn't just a rechargeable lithium battery, it has the charge controller built in, and it's an efficient one. It's an MPPT controller charger. And so when you plug in your solar panels here in this Anderson connector using the plug that they've provided, or the adapter, you'll be able to have that controlled charge of the lithium battery because they have the charge controller built in already. That's some of the nice things about these units compared to just a plain lithium battery. Because when you want to buy, say, just a plain lithium battery for your rig or for your travel trailer, you're going to have to consider a solar charger controller, you're going to have to consider an inverter, you're going to have to determine what kind of display you're going to need to meet your needs. Well, this is all taken care of for you, all in this nice, compact, efficient unit. Now, I know this will still fit in the storage beneath my sleeping camping platform because I have at least 16 inches of height when I remove the back seat. So this will fit under there quite nicely, and then I could run things off of it from that location, and if I'm charging it, it could stay there while I'm driving, and I've got this plug plugged into the Jeep. While I'm driving, it'll be charging the battery right in place. Or if I have solar panels out when I'm camping, I could run the cables into the Jeep to the battery, so I don't really have to move this around if I didn't want to. It's about 30 pounds, but that's not terribly heavy, but it's heavy enough that if you didn't feel like moving it around, it's small enough that it'll fit nicely in the Jeep. And if you have a Gladiator or if you have a Tacoma or something like that, this will fit anywhere. So that's how you could charge it using solar panels. If I wanted to use 12 volt charger, it goes into this outlet right here. And then if I wanted to charge my phone, I've got 3 USB ports and one of them is a fast charger. So that's good. I know on the 500 watt battery I have, it doesn't have a fast charger. This one does, so that's desirable. There's also a USB input output port, so you could charge it via USB, or you could power something like a laptop via USB-C as well. Okay, now let me discuss with you a little bit about this display. When you press the power button, it illuminates, it shows you what percent of energy is going in, like when you're charging it, and what percent of energy is going out, like when you're powering something with it. So for example, if while you're driving, you plug this 12 volt plug into your Jeep, and this other end into the battery will be getting charged while you're driving. And then if you have your, say, 12 volt refrigerator plugged in, getting charged by the battery, both functions will operate together, no problem. Or if you're at your campsite, you can have your solar panels plugged into it, topping up the battery while it's getting used to do other things. Now, to power up the display, you have to hit this button. It's unfortunate that there isn't an always on feature to the display, so when you want to see something, you have to tap on it. It's probably an energy saving feature. But to turn on the inverter so I can use an AC appliance, I press the AC button here at the top and hold it for a couple seconds. And then you can hear it turn on. This light at the bottom of the display lets you know that the AC inverter is on. And there was a startup fan, and when the fan runs to cool the unit down, you'll see a light, you'll see a symbol here in the bottom corner that shows you that the fan is running. So in terms of the attributes of this battery. It's all in the manual, and I could review them for you. I could have them up on the screen for you. And I'm not really a big tech type of guy. I'm more interested in, well, how is this actually going to be used? Will it meet my needs? Like, I don't know, is 1100 watt hours something I need, or can I make do with a 500 watt hour battery? There is the watt hour rating, but then there is also the power capacity. Like, this will power something that draws 1200 watts. Something like, I don't know why you'd want to have a microwave when you're camping, but a microwave, or say for example you were interested in using a hairdryer. Well, some of the smaller lithium batteries won't cut it. They'll just cut out on you, whereas something like this might. So let's give it a test. So let's plug in our dryer. I'll turn it on low first. That's going to be low fan setting, and then it'll be on low heat as well. That's medium heat. It's drawing right now 745 watts. Now I've got it on high heat, and it's drawing 1131 watts. So you can use a hairdryer with this battery. Now I'm going to go to high fan. So it would work on medium heat, on high heat, on medium fan. But if I had it on high heat and I put it on high fan, the wattage draw became 1400 watts, in which case it only ran for a few more seconds and then the unit turned off. So it's good to know that if you wanted to use this on high heat with medium fan, it'll draw something like 1131 watts, so it'll work with this unit. So that's good to know. And now you can hear the inverter fan going for a while. I guess it was getting overheated. There's even a little caution symbol here. So it's good to know about that. Now, we've done the test with the dryer. Now I want to do a test that's special to me, and that is I want to see if a coffee drip machine will work on this unit. On my 500 watt battery, it doesn't have enough power to power a coffee drip machine, so when we're camping we use the coffee pour over method. I know there's a French press method, a percolator method, but that's the method that gives us the kind of coffee taste that we like. I could do a video on that. I know there are others out there that are done, but I am curious if I can use a coffee drip machine because of the power of this battery. I'd use it when I'm camping, have it all set up in my Hasika kitchen tent, or if I'm using my travel trailer, can I use this battery in the travel trailer to power the coffee machine in there? So let's give this a shot. I just happen to have a coffee machine loaded up with 4 cups of water, and I'm just going to see that I could get this powered up to start making coffee. Because of that lights symbol right there, I know that the AC inverter is on, and now I'm going to turn on my coffee machine. It's drawing 1029 watts. Now it's 1026 watts. The little light here on the display is showing me that the fan is running to keep the inverter cool, and I can hear the water boiling in the coffee machine. So the maximum wattage of use of this device is 1043, and this battery is capable of putting out 1200. So that means when I go camping with my Jeep and I just have my tent, I could set this up making coffee for me, as well as keeping it warm for a while. So if I wanted a second cup, it's already made and it's kept warm. So that is, that's good. And if I'm using the travel trailer and I'm not on a service site, or if I'm on Crown land somewhere using the travel trailer off grid, I can still have perked coffee in a drip machine made for me. I am stoked about this. This to me is worth getting this. Okay, I'm gonna let this finish just so I can make sure that it's gonna run completely, making 4 cups, and then I'll be right back. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize that the heating element in here cycles on and off. I know now because I can see on the display that there's no draw of output of energy. Oh, it's just cycled on. And you can see also the fan's turned on, so the symbol came on the screen. So it's good to know. It's good to know that that's how it operates. Okay. So that worked really well, and I'm very happy about that. Now the thing to make mention of is that to coffee drip the 4 cups of water, it used 8% of the battery. So it's an energy hog, but if you have solar panels to recharge it, or you don't have other things drawing such energy from the battery, you can do it. I'm interested in some real world tests with this when we go camping to use it to make coffee with this drip machine. So that's pretty good. But what are the overall and the general kind of uses for a battery like this for people like you and I who go camping once in a while? Well, I know that some of you have seen my video here on the 23 quart BougeRV fridge, and I did the unboxing of the 37 quart fridge. What I will be doing is posting a video out very shortly doing a comparison analysis of the 2 different fridges running on 2 different batteries, because I know, yes, this is an energy hog, but those 12-volt refrigerators are very efficient and can run for days without any extra charge from solar panels on a battery like this, as well as my smaller one. The comparison will be in the next video, so make sure if you haven't subscribed yet that you do so, as well as hit the alert bell so you'll be notified when that video comes out, because that is definitely a reason to have a battery like this if you use one of those 12-volt fridges. And we're sold on the 12-volt fridges now because we don't have to worry about coolers with lots of ice that we have to go and replenish. And when you start looking at the cost of the ice and the gas to go get ice, and the inconvenience and the water ruining your food and that kind of thing, over the season, or probably over a couple seasons, it'll pay for the fridges. Now, just to recap, you could charge this when you're driving, you could charge this with solar panels, or you could charge it using your AC power brick. Or you could not charge it at all. For example, when my wife and I go camping and we have our smaller battery, it provides power for our 23 quart fridge for a weekend camping trip. In the next video, when I test it on this battery, we're going to see how many days it can go without recharging. That's important because these things cost money. And sure, in the tip segment, I'm going to share with you how you could save a little money on the purchase of one of these. But if you could save money by knowing what kind of camp setup you have and whether or not you're going to even require solar panels, if you don't have to purchase that, that helps ease the burden of buying a battery like this. And also, I'm considering trying to run all the LED lights and power uses required in my travel trailer off of something like this. Because if I needed to power it with solar panels, I can. If I needed to power my LED lights, which have a very low draw, I can do it with this. So it's something I'll be considering and possibly putting out in a future video. But anyway, the specifications of this battery, I'm just going to put up on the screen, and feel free to pause the video and check them out if you want. That kind of stuff might be boring to some people, but there it is if you want to have a look at it. But let's talk about how you might be able to save some money if you're interested in buying something like this in our tip segment.
Now for some cheaper tips.
So like I was alluding to earlier, you could probably meet all of your recharging needs when you're camping without maybe requiring a solar panel, because something like this can carry you through a weekend if your draw on the battery is not too much. The videos coming out showing how the fridges work on this will show that they go on for days, so you could go a whole weekend without needing to recharge this. And depending on what else you're charging, whether it's going to be for your phone or your tablet or camera batteries, I believe it should be able to handle it for a weekend. But when I produce the video showing how long the fridge can run on something like this, you'll have an idea of how much power is left over for your other needs. So you could probably save money if your camping doesn't require you to be out for long periods of time requiring a recharge of the battery, and without buying a solar panel, it makes this that much more affordable. But I also have access to discount codes for this and possibly some other products in this and future videos coming out. So make sure you check out the description section in the video if you want to save some money. And this would make a great Christmas gift. So either if you know somebody that would benefit from something like this, or you want to let somebody know that you could benefit from something like this, make sure you share the video. Hey, that's it for this week's episode of Cheaper Jeeper TV. I hope you found it interesting. And if you did, how about giving this video a thumbs up? And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and the alert bell so you'll be notified when the next video is released. Until then, I'm Dino for Cheaper Jeeper TV. Be well, stay safe, take care.